ready?
Yeah.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, my prans. This is Pinky.
And this is Priyanka.
And we're here to call out all things PakeAsPuck. We remembered everything. It was great. How are you? You look exhausted. What's going on? Talk to me.
Oh, I'm just like end of summer mom life.
Yeah.
They're wild.
Yeah.
But I feel like I say that every week.
No, you don't. It's real. It is right
The
now.
lethargy has really kicked in this week. I've been taking naps.
Naps are good.
I'm that tired, and
Yeah.
I never nap. I'm not a napper.
Well, you've also been busy with bookings too.
Yeah, and I was giving it some thought, like on my way over here. Like, I wonder if this is where therapy is helping a lot because I'm more aware of what I'm dealing with. And I wonder if a lot of my exhaustion this week is just coming from, I've been having panic attacks.
Why? No.
I didn't mention this to you today.
No, why?
So it just, recently I've like come across some inconsistency in booking. I like help another artist from time to time. And I guess she was expecting me on certain days, but it wasn't on my calendar, or something shifted where it was, like she had a spreadsheet at first. And then I was like, no, you're better off like just like confirming it with me and then adding it to my calendar. So we tried that, but then the spreadsheet wasn't always. There's just a lot of inconsistency, and I was like, I knew that, or as I was thinking about it, one, I felt like I was just like dropping the ball, even though I know it wasn't on me. Like mentally, I know that. But I was like, shoot, like somebody's counting on me, and I just don't show up. That sucks. So
yeah.
A lot of flare-ups, a lot of panic, and then I think it was also just me trying to break down how I run my business, because I was like, I'm getting played in this situation right now, you know, so there was just that, and then...
So do you think you'll ever, like, maybe hire a virtual assistant to help you?
I do think that I need to, but I don't think I earn enough to do that just yet. And I struggle between, should I just pay somebody to do that because you gotta spend money to make money, right? Versus cleaning up my processes in general. As of right now, I just told her, I'm like, I don't want you handling anything regarding my schedule. Like, if you have a bridal party that needs help, that you need help to support that contract, send them to me. And I'm like, with my own contracting system, I'm good.
Yeah.
Right?
It's when
so
other people pull you in.
Yeah, I'm like, I want to be helpful. I don't want to say that I'm not going to be helpful, but I think it's best that they just book through me then.
Yeah.
It's a little more paperwork for them, but at least we can all hold each other accountable.
Right, because even if another makeup artist brings you on because she needs the assistance, they still should be filling out a contract with you.
And that's not happening.
Yeah, that's not.
And I think
that's not CYA, and you need to CYA.
Right.
Because because at the end of the day, you're dealing with human beings.
Right.
And when you're dealing with human beings, minds change, attitudes change, outlooks change.
So that's
like motivation changes, and now because if she pulls you in for something that's a year from now, and then if she gets some bug up her ass and is like, oh, never mind, I went with this makeup artist instead. You don't know what's going to happen, right? Like, you're just doing this as a helping hand, but you don't know what she's.
And so that happened similarly. Not that like she had a bug up her ass. She's actually really kind, but
but it's not like negative or positive. It's
no. Like
neutral.
I didn't mean it like that.
Yeah,
it was more just like so. I thought it was going to be like an as needed kind of a basis, but the frequency had really picked up.
Oh.
So then
she's pulling you in more and more.
I started questioning some things. It was like, I thought it was just like hey, somebody fell through. Do you have the availability? Can you step in, kind of a thing? And so I noticed that like there was just a lot of frequency, and we were getting like pinned up together a little bit. And then something happened for a wedding in May where I was expected to go out to her. And I had a contract in the morning, and then I was going to help her, like, later on in the afternoon. And I talked to my client, which is like, hey, I need to rework a couple things. So, once again, I'm negotiating a different schedule with my client, which I shouldn't have to, to make that work. But then her client had canceled. Now, if somebody cancels on me, you lose your deposit. But because this was me helping her, I was not secured in any way.
Yeah.
Right?
That's not
I
good.
didn't have a retainer, I didn't have a contract, and so I'm getting a call like 2-3 days before, like, hey, they fell through. I'm like, okay, so you don't need my help then? And that was
Yeah.
money that I was counting on, right? Like,
Yeah.
I'm fine, but at the same time, I had figured that in, and that now...
That was part of your income. That's like,
Right,
that's
and
like
so
you banking on working 40 hours a week and you only work 25 hours.
Right.
And now you've lost so much money. And so, yeah, no, they need to be signing your contract.
Right.
Like at that point, like, to me it sounds like she's trying to create like a team without telling people that she wants to create a team.
And so that happened.
And where she's the boss.
So that happened this weekend.
No.
So I was starting to put a lot of things together, and
Yeah.
I felt like this wasn't in my best interest, right? And then this past weekend, I was expected to help her, and the girls that were in my chair were like kind of chit-chatting, and they're like, one of her friends walked into the room, the girl I was doing her makeup, and her friend walks into the room. She was like, oh my gosh, you look so good, your base looks awesome, and she was like bragging about her hair, and I'm feeling good about it, like,
Yeah.
great, I'm so glad you're happy.
Yeah.
And then it happened. Oh, you should look them up. They go by, like, whatever, insert her business name here.
Yeah.
And my name wasn't even known.
See.
And
That's not good.
I
don't
felt
like that.
like that was such a slap in the face.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I don't know
Right.
who this other person is. I don't want to know who this
Right,
other person is. But I don't like that
That's
at all.
the same thing. I'm not trying to badmouth.
No.
I don't want to put their name out like that.
No.
But from a business to business perspective, I was just like,
That's not cool.
that's really bogus.
Yeah.
And
That's
yeah,
not
so it affected me. I think like that's I'm having like residual exhaustion
Yeah.
from
Mental
overthinking
exhaustion,
a lot
yeah.
of that. Yeah.
No, I don't.
But going forward, we're making better decisions.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I think you learned your lesson. You were trying to be a helpful friend or colleague, not friend, but just a helpful
Right.
colleague.
It's just that like
because you saw somebody
you're
reached
young.
out to you.
We're similar. We're in the same industry. Like I want to be helpful. I don't want to not be helpful. I'm never.
Yeah, but at the end of the
And
day,
then
you also know
I
what
was
Indian
too
bitches
nice.
are like.
I was too nice.
You know, and like, I was telling Jennifer this on our walk this morning. Like, it does not, like, the two of us, we're an anomaly in our culture. Like, we are 100% an anomaly in the South Asian culture. And there might be more anomalies out there. We're just hoping that we can collect them now that we're putting this shit out there and we can form some sort of society or something. Because the way we think and the way we handle relationships and just not even just like relationships, situationships, whatever you call them, work related, home related, friendships, whatever. The way that we think about that kind of stuff is very not like the hive mentality that a lot of South Asians have. And this is what it ends up being. Like, and not even, like, take it down to, forget South Asians, right? I don't know if this person's South Asian or not. I'm assuming they are. But take it out of that. Like, even when we worked in corporate, it's like this woman thing. Like, we shouldn't be pitting women against women, but they have this, like, competitive mentality, and they want to run the show, and they, like, and of course her best friend coming in and hyping her up, and it's just like, well, but this person in the chair knows that you are the one that did their makeup, you are the one that just did their hair.
Right, so it was the client that was sitting in my chair, the client's friend. So they weren't gassing up the other makeup artist, who happened to be in the room that I was helping.
Okay.
And so she did hear what was said, and I was just like, you're not even going to correct them?
No.
Right?
Right.
So it just,
No.
it pinched a nerve. I was upset about it.
I heard the same situation with this hairdresser. She's the one that I got my hair updated recently with, because I tried somebody different this time. And she was telling me that this other hair person on TikTok, they get the two of them mixed up all the time. Yeah, and the one, like, they actually like I'm gonna call her my hairdresser, for the story. But they all love my hairdresser's coloring, because she's won awards for this, like, at conventions, like hair conventions and stuff. But yeah, they think it's this other girl, and they've said this in front of the two of them when they've been at conventions. Like, they've gone up to this other girl like, oh my god, I loved when you did that prism color and blah 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 blah.
But that one's not gonna correct them.
She never did.
Ugh.
And my hairdresser just looked at her like, you're not gonna correct her and say, oh, it wasn't me, it was her. No. Why? Because she's getting the views. She's getting the people. So of course she's not gonna correct her. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, if it was us, if the tables were turned, and if it was us, we would be like, no, that was actually, like, if it was you, you'd be like, no, that was actually Pinky who did it. So
I have an example of that where it happened years ago. I had a client that it was her engagement party, and she showed me a picture off of Pinterest of a look that she wanted to replicate.
Okay, fine, yeah.
So, fair. I was like, okay,
Right.
sure.
You
Great.
need inspiration somehow.
Always, right? So I broke it down. I was like, what do you like about it? What don't you like about it? Let's talk it through. And I did her look. Now, I was still learning social media. I still don't know it, let's be honest. I still
Nobody
don't know
really
how
does.
it really works. But as far as, like, social decorum, I didn't quite understand it, right? But I tried to make it a point to, like, tag, not claim work as my own,
Right.
whatever, right? So what I did was, when I was sharing her look, I saved that Pinterest image, and I put a label over it saying inspo, and then I shared the work that I had done, and I wrote a caption or whatever, tagged the products that I used,
Yeah.
and the artist that had done the inspo picture did not like it. Did she have the balls to talk to me about it?
No.
I learned through the grapevine that she was pissed with me that I posted a picture of the work that she had done. Now,
You wrote inspo on it. What
I
more
wrote
does she
inspo
want?
because just like you taught me that I should have my handle on the pictures, she did not have her handle on the pictures. I didn't know who did the work, but I also wasn't going to claim it as my own.
But you didn't. You wrote inspo.
Exactly. That was the best I could think to do
Which
in
is
that
perfectly
moment.
acceptable.
So, when I heard through the grapevine what was happening, I was like, okay, I'm not trying to, like, she was a much bigger artist, she better known, all that stuff. I'm like, I'm not trying to take people off that have connections that could give me a bad rep. I didn't know any better, right?
No, you do.
So, I didn't reach out to her because, I mean, like, if she doesn't have the balls to talk to me, I'm not going to bring it up with her,
No.
right?
Yeah.
But I knew that she
She's
was
the
the
one with
artist.
the issue.
Right, but now I knew that she was the artist, so I just went back and edited the post and tagged her in it. Inspo by blah blah blah.
Right.
I'm sure she saw it.
She did.
And that's fine.
She did.
I don't care, but I'm like, you didn't have the guts to talk to me about it?
Right.
If it bothered you,
Right.
I would have tagged you. I have no
don't.
problem with doing that.
Right, but they would
But
rather
she does
be
have
petty.
the power to badmouth me.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. Like, this is like, and again, I don't know if they're South Asian or not, but I've noticed it even in a broader bucket of just women in general. It's like, why are you behaving like this? Like, I'm not trying to take work away from you. First of all, bad on you for not putting your handle as a ghost image on top, like a stamp, right? Like everybody else does. Like, come on, use your brain. You got this far and you don't know to put a fucking handle on there? Like, then how are you this successful? You know what I'm saying? Like, and you want, if anything, imitation is what is it? The best, like, it's flattering, right? Like, when someone imitates you, that means they look up to you. They want to aspire to be like you, right? And so she should have been honored that at least a bride had found her image on Pinterest, and I can guarantee you it was an image that somebody else put up also. Like, it wasn't like, they didn't go to her page and get it from her Instagram account.
No,
it was so convoluted. It probably went down the
off
pipeline.
of Pinterest.
Right,
Yeah.
like, you don't know, unless there is a watermark on it, you don't know whose it is.
It could have been the photographer even that
It could
posted
have.
it.
It could have. Like, how many times do we use my headshots and we don't tag Todd, right? Like, we should tag him every single time.
But when you post it, I'm just like, that's my face.
Yeah, we should tag you every single time.
No.
You know? No, but like, we just when they're used in graphics and stuff. But like, when I post them myself, I'll try to like.
That would clog my social media like crazy though. But I feel so proud when I see it. I'm like, I did that.
But it's like there's no point in getting mad about it. And then also, instead of
But she's
reaching out
talking
to
to other people about it.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
That,
like, come on, is this high school that you're like going behind somebody's back, like the offender's back, and being like, oh my god, can you believe she did that? That's ridiculous. It's like, no, don't be a fucking cunsicle. Like, get the fuck out of here. You have lady balls of steel. You are mature enough to have
It doesn't
children.
have to be an uncomfortable conversation.
It doesn't.
Right? You could just be like, hey, I came across your page and I saw that you posted this awesome recreation. Can you do me a favor and just tag me in that?
That's ridiculous.
Right? Like, how hard is it? But it is. It is so hard for people to get their head out of their ass and have that conversation.
Yeah. I mean, you've seen it happen to me. I've talked about it. Where, like, I'll use somebody's audio, and their audio is tagged. Like, as soon as you use somebody's audio, it's tagged, right? Mm-hmm. And because I, film it once, put it everywhere, and then I put it on TikTok, it was like the sound where they were like, this is how you attract a man. And I looked ridiculous at the end, right? Mm-hmm. And this girl, like, everybody tagged her.
That's
and I was
when
like,
we made all the faces.
Yeah, and I was like, oh shit. So I went back and I edited and I tagged her. This was after she got really mean in the comments. She's like, nice of you to tag me. And I was like, oh my god, oh shit, sorry. But then here's the thing. But then Lily Singh did not tag her. And she went over there and she's like, oh my god, I'm so honored. And I was like, and I commented on Lily's. I was like, you better tag the original audio because I did the same thing you did, girl. And she got mad at me. But yeah, because it's Lily Singh.
That's where it's a little cloud chasey, right? Like,
yeah,
if
you're going to kiss her ass? Get the fuck out of here. I hope she sees this.
They can choose where they want to be dicks about it.
Yeah.
Right? So they're just chasing clout. They probably put out an audio thinking, okay, great. Maybe this will take. It started to take.
Right.
They started going viral.
Yeah.
So then that greed kind of takes
Yeah.
over. And they're not introspecting enough to see that this is where this is stemming from. Tag me. I can't believe you wouldn't tag me. Because they want it to keep continuously going viral, right? They want it to go. But your name is probably not as big as Lily's at the time.
Well, no.
Right?
Right. Lily Singh has 10 million followers on Instagram,
right.
but I only have
one. She gets a free pass, though.
Right. But I'm like, doesn't matter how many followers you get. At the end of the day, we are all still human beings.
But they're not seeing it that way.
Exactly.
They're only seeing it in the sense where, like, well, I'm definitely going to go viral with her.
That's why, like, people ask me all the time. They're like, how do you, like, what's your views on social media? Because they automatically think that I'm in love with social media, right? Because I'm on it. And I'm like, no, in all honesty, I fucking hate social media because of people like this. Because of people who act like they're better than you when they're actually not. And I'm just like, if you were, you'd have more followers than me.
Did I tell you about it?
I'm sorry. Is
I
that
was
true?
beefing with somebody on social media the other day.
I'm like, what are you doing?
I don't know why. I don't know why. It was so dumb. But I felt the need to just comment. It just came out. So there was this reel that was going around that I was just scrolling. Sometimes I scroll to like look for inspo myself,
Yeah.
And so there's this reel going around. I get a lot of wedding content.
Of course.
So there's a stationery artist, or I don't know what they're really called, paper goods.
Yeah.
And she had this fabulous idea of taking your wedding invitations, stuffing it into a really pretty envelope.
The envelope that goes with the invitation.
Yeah. Don't address the pretty envelope.
No.
Put it in a dummy envelope and address that so that your guests don't rip open the gold pretty envelope.
Right.
And sustainability is important to me, okay? So I just commented back, which I could have worded differently, but I was just like, seems wasteful. I think I ever said something like that. But it is! Like, you have a dummy envelope for another envelope when all of it is going to find itself in the trash. And so she commented back almost instantly.
Like the original person?
The creator
oh my God.
commented back almost instantaneously. Now, if you know the rules of social media, you comment back on everything to help it progress, apparently.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So she commented back right away, and I just thought, whoa, this person really wants us to go viral. She's like, apparently the client and their guests didn't think so. And my response back to that, I read it the way that she wrote it, and it came off kind of catty to me.
Yeah.
Now, I wasn't trying to fight with her, so I responded back, and I was like, I'm happy to hear that this idea was fruitful for you. As a business owner, I love that for you. But on the other side of it, it seems a little wasteful for products. She's got, like, environmental engineers commenting back saying, why is everybody giving such a hard time? It's not that big of a deal. I'm like, at the end of the day, that you could say that about everything.
Yeah.
Like, well, I didn't kill the cow. I just eat a little piece of it. Like, But what are, like, at least in, like, a wholesome approach, what are you doing to take responsibility?
She
to
doesn't
limit,
want
right?
to, yeah.
And so that's just all. I don't think that my comment back to that was negative. Yeah, the seems wasteful was a little rocky.
It wasn't. It was
but
honest.
I was like, I get that you're making you had a successful idea. You made a profit off of it, and you want to push it. I get that, and I respect that. But at the end of the day, do you really need
wasteful.
2 envelopes?
Yeah. Like,
and then I was just like, and then also like, how many did you waste just to create the reel?
Yeah.
Because it was her. It wasn't like she got a video from somebody opening it.
Right.
She recreated opening it.
Yeah.
So like.
Yeah. So she's wasting anyways. Like.
Right.
But that's what these. That's the hidden. That's the BTS of a majority of these content. Like this content that everybody sees.
I feel the same way about the makeup ones too.
Everyone.
People squirting dumb shit all over their face.
Everyone. It does not matter if it's a restock video. It does not matter if it is a cook with me video. It does not like. In order for like, and I've seen this happen because I've talked to other creators, right? And I've seen it happen where in the pursuit of perfection, they redo so much. Like my hairdresser, the new one, was telling me. Because I was asking her, I was like, how many people, because she's got quite a following, she's verified, she's really good at her job, like, everybody, people come to her, sometimes people fly in to come to her, stuff like that, like, yeah. And so, she was, like, telling me that she has this one influencer who, like, when she knows that this girl is coming, apparently when you put, like, bleach in hair, it's, like, it's very time sensitive, so she has to put slower.
A slow release.
Slow release, because this girl keeps redoing the videos and cutting into the processing time. And she learned this, and my hairdresser's like, girl, this is gonna burn your hair off if I don't get this off right now. Like that was the first time, but then she realized, oh, I need slow. And I was just like, so
that
you had to
so
modify your process. You had to modify your process because she wanted to reshoot.
She charges for that.
I
hope
hope she
she does, because that's a lot of time.
But it's in the pursuit of perfection. These guys reshoot, and this is why a lot of, like, layman's people like us, like, everyday mom and pop people who are just going about society, doing our thing, going to work, taking care of our kids, buying, like, everyday business, this is why we hate influencers in the wild. Because they monopolize, like, when I shoot something in the wild, I'm like, let's go, quick, let's because I don't want to.
It's in the moment.
Right, it's in the moment. Right. I don't want to disrupt
it's not
other
fabricated.
people. But everything that you see, I can guarantee you, even down to the dog videos, they are all fabricated. Because when Cooper came, right, and we were being in the moment. The dogs were meeting. I'm dog sitting. They were meeting for the first time. They did some funny stuff, but you didn't see me taking out my camera. And if it happens again, I might take it out.
Because honestly, in that moment, you're thinking, wow, you're doing funny things, but I also don't want you to, like, rip each other's heads off.
Right.
They're meeting for the first time.
Right, and I have learned, and maybe this is the grind your gungies, because we have to get into that, but I have learned...
No rules.
No rules. Maybe we'll just dump
We'll just
today.
ramble, yeah.
We'll just dump until the timer goes off and whatever. But I have learned that if I see something on social media, to assume that it was overly engineered. Because everything on social media is overly engineered. The only time it's spontaneous is when you see somebody where, like, you only see this much of them from here up, and, like, they're in bed and they're recording something. Because they're doing it spontaneous. Like, that to me is spontaneous. But, like, if like, the get ready with me's and the restock videos and the, let's redo my closet and like, when we get to the point where we're cleaning up my vagina cave, and if we do decide to put cameras up, and we record all day, like...
It's gonna be one angle. Maybe
right.
2, because we have 2 phones.
Right. Or maybe we'll figure it out, but, like, we'll clip it together, but I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, let's redo that. Let's redo that. We have to redo that, because what you said was amazing. Let's redo that.
Do you remember
that
one mom that went viral because, they had to put their dog down, and her kid was really sad?
No.
I'll have to find it for you. It was pretty bogus because she had the camera set up, like the dash cam set up, and her son was like, I am actually sad. She's like, well, look at the camera like this. Put your head together like this. And she was posing.
No.
I'll have to look it up and show you.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
That's bad parenting. I said what I said. That is bad parenting.
It absolutely is. I'm almost like, one, you're heartless. You just had to put your dog down, and you're not even feeling that.
Right.
But your main focus is, let me get some content to post about it.
Right. Like when I was so, like, when I got home from my walk today, right? I saw my walking pad there. I was so excited because I've been wanting this since.
You didn't get the unbox me.
No, I'm not fucking doing that. And then I was like, oh, I should take a picture. So then I finagled it. We got it inside, and then he went to go work out or do something, and then I'm like moving it around so I could get a proper picture. It wasn't even a good picture, but I was like, this is what it is. It's going up.
That's fine.
But I'm not gonna sit here and do an unbox me. It's a fucking walking pad. There's no, like, what do you think, cockroaches are gonna come out of it? Like, there's, like, unless I know what's in the box, I'm not gonna do an unboxing, right? And, like, when these people do unbox this with me, like, I tried to do that in the beginning with my P.O. Box shit, and I was like, I'm not recording this. This is ridiculous. I'm showing people what I got when there's people out there that can't even afford food, and I'm rubbing it in their faces that people are sending me this shit. Like, and that's not even me trying to be soft. That's me being logical. That's us being anomalies of the culture that we're in right now. The fact that and maybe at the end of this we'll realize that we aren't actually anomalies. We are the norm. There's just the rest of us are just minding our own fucking business, and we're not putting everything out there like everybody on social media is. You know, like the fact that somebody can't just grow lady balls of steel and DM you and be like, hey, I wish you would have tagged me in that post.
Right, like, it doesn't have to be hostile. I think it's more hostile to talk shit about it.
Yes. It's
right?
more hostile to make passive-aggressive videos, and we've seen it. I've seen it. I've been on the receiving end of it, and nobody knew that this person was talking about me, and it was karma. It was karma because why? Because I had unfollowed that person after trying to be friends with them. I had unfollowed them because I was at that point in my life where I was like, I don't need this anymore.
Yeah. It's bad energy.
It's bad energy, and to see this constantly, like, they're not even, like, if they keep claiming that they're good people when they're actually not, I can't be around these people, right? And I never aired my dirty laundry out there. I never, like, I might have talked about it on our podcast, but I feel like if you got to our podcast, like, if you got to our podcast because you're one of my followers, that means you're an OG
You're
follower.
a ride or die.
You're a ride or die.
Yeah.
Like, you're here because you want to hear, like, the honest-to-God views that we have, right? Me and you together as a tag team, right? Your friends have told me, my people have told me, they're like, we love listening to them when we go on walks or whatever. Because it's real life. It's not just, like, fabricated bullshit. We're not doing, like, mukbangs, and we're not wasting food, and we're not doing, like...
Can we mukbangs?
Yeah, what is that?
I can't watch people eat.
No.
It
No, I
really
can't do
grosses me.
mukbangs.
I think we talked about this at one
did.
point. Like, people that are, like, trying out recipes and then they try it on camera.
Yeah.
It's so cringe.
Yeah.
No.
No.
And it's always just like...
Yeah.
Like,
Canceled.
Gross.
Canceled.
It
Straight
just
to jail.
reminds me of our one director that ate.
Oh.
She'd stick her whole tongue out like Smeagol. And
Oh
it
my
was so
god.
gross.
Yeah, she would stick her tongue out to catch the food
Yeah.
that she was missing by biting the food, and we were just like, what the fuck is wrong with
I
you?
couldn't sit next to her. It was just too much. I'm like, I'm gonna
Every
throw
time
up.
I sat across from her or near her, and like because
Her
across,
tongue was
obviously,
always out. I was like,
but I was like, how did you get a husband
aw.
eating like this? Like, you eat like a fucking cow. That's how cows and giraffes eat because they don't have hands.
I married Neil, and then it took like a few years of really living with him to realize how much I can't stand watching him eat.
Oh god. I can't. Roommate number 2, every time he eats, I want to punch him in the face.
Yeah,
'Cause
but
it
there's
makes
still a
crunchy
lot of love
sounds.
there. I'm kind of just
Of
like,
course.
we're just gonna maybe sit next to each other instead of across from each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's
Absolutely.
a compromise.
That's
That's marriage.
So with that, guys, we hope that you will also be able to realize what's PakeAsPuck online, because we have so much that we can guide you through. Leave your questions, comments, and all that BS below. We will see you guys next time. Okay, bye.